Hello, welcome to Furry and Spoilt. Today I'm going to talk to you about how to stop your dog from eating too fast. I've got 3 dogs, but 2 of my dogs eat too fast. One of them, Albert, eats quite fast. Harry, my other dog, he eats fine, just nice and slowly. And then my 3rd dog eats way too fast, way too fast. So what I've done to slow them down is, you'll see here, we've got this with my first dog that eats too fast. We've got this bowl here, and see how it's got a nice big bottom. That means we're able to flatten the food down. So if you could go ahead. So my husband is here feeding them today, and you see we've flattened the food down. So if you feed them a kibble, if you soaked it in warm water for a while so that it went soft, you would be able to do this. And you need to flatten the food down and really flatten it down so that they can't take big mouthfuls, and that has stopped Albert eating too quickly. Now in a minute I'll talk to you about the signs that your dog is eating too fast, but first I just want you to see how we're doing this. So you can see there it's really flattened down. Now then we go to Harry. Now Harry just eats normal speed, so there's no problem with that. You don't have to flatten it all down, you can just mush it up a bit and that's fine. He just has never eaten fast. He eats nice and slowly and fine. But then if we move on to Humps here, which is also the little dog down here waiting, he eats really fast. And he's a rescue from South Korea. He's come from the meat trade and he eats so fast. I've never seen a dog eat so fast. And so the bowl that we use over there with Albert, it just wasn't enough. He was still managing to eat that food way too fast. So what I did was I just got a normal, just one of our plates, a big plate, and it means that we can mush it down over the whole size of the plate, and that has worked a treat. That has stopped him being able to eat too quickly. In a minute I'll film him while he's eating and you'll see, but you can see there you really mush it down. And my boys have supplements, so underneath there were supplements. Just make sure that they're all mixed in to it, but absolutely squash it flat down, really thin all over the plate. Like I said, ideally wet food works best for this, but you could soak dry food. Not that I am pushing dry food. If you know my channel, you know I think dry food is terrible for dogs, but that's a whole different video. So you can see how flat that is, and I'll show you now him eating it. So here he is eating it, and you can see he just actually isn't able to wolf it up really quickly because there aren't big mouthfuls to be had because it's so thin. So he's having to actually lick it up. And it's working a treat. Now, I could see that he was eating too fast when we first got him. Like I said, he came from South Korea. He came from the meat trade. So it's completely understandable why he eats as quickly as he does. But this has managed to slow him down. He's still the fastest out of them all, but it's managed to slow him down so much. And what was happening was he would be eating his dinner, and then afterwards he would be getting trapped wind. And that's really common in dogs, and it used to happen with Albert as well before I slowed him down. And they run around and they're crying, and it's just like it's created wind inside them and it's trapped. And how I get rid of that is you just have to rub their belly and they burp. It's basically like burping a baby. So you just rub their belly and then they burp, and then they're absolutely fine. But it's really horrible and it's painful for them and it's not nice. And you can see here, so he had to slow down. He had to. There was no other option. This has worked an absolute treat. But like I said, if you see Albert over there at the back, that bowl is fine for him and it slowed him down enough that there was no trap wind and no problems. But it wasn't, it didn't slow Humps here down quite enough. So we had to go, I tried high and low to find a dog bowl that was bigger, and I just couldn't find it. So I ended up with he had to have one of our plates. But then because it slides around the floor quite a lot, so I put it on the tea towel. And that works an absolute treat. No problems at all. All done. You're finished. Did you enjoy your dinner? Did you have a nice dinner? Yeah? And there's no problems now. There'll be no trap wind, no crying, nothing like that. All done. All fine. Now, something I do want to talk to you about is Harry's finished his. Now, because they've all finished, I let them mingle about now. They just have a look at each other's bowls. But while anybody's still got food in their bowl, I don't let them do that. And because I've never let them do that, they just know that they have to wait until everybody's finished and then they can safely all mingle around. What is important is is that sometimes eating too fast can cause bloat. Now, I'm going to do a whole separate video on bloat. It's too important. I can't just pop it in on the end here. Bloat can kill a dog. It's far too important to just put in this video. So I will do another video about bloat, and I'll put that up this week so you can learn all about bloat. So that's it. So that is how you can see everybody's all wandering around. So you can see that is how we do it, and it's worked really, really well for me over the years, that technique. As always, I'm on Instagram, Twitter. If you've got any tips, any questions, you know how it all works. Then I'm on Twitter more than I am on Instagram. But I am on Instagram, but it's much more chatty over on Twitter. And all my dogs are going to leave me now while I'm filming. Oh no, we've got one left. But if you've got any questions about this, do pop them into comments, and I will answer them and help you out. Or other people might answer them and help them out. But what I will say is the video about bloat is really important to watch, because even if you don't have a dog that eats fast, it's just something you just really need to know about. And I'm not going to just tell you my opinion of bloat or anything like that. What I'm going to do is, I mean, none of my dogs have ever have had bloat. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to research it, like I do everything. Research it, and I'll give you all the scientific facts on it, of what bloat is, and how you can avoid it. So thank you very much for watching. I'll leave you with Humps having a drink. I hope that you all have a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.